What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of Hitting the Bars. It's always nice to say that again. What's up, Keltie?
Just enjoying another Monday, getting locked in as the... I didn't even mean to say that. That is the title of the video, but I was just locking in on a Monday.
You just gave it away?
I was like, I know, just gave it in, but I was like, it's such like a Monday, you either love a Monday or you hate it. What you feel like? You're like, oh, I got to reset, start over, or you're like, oh no, I got to restart the week.
So I feel like I have mixed feelings on it, but lately, and I literally just storied about this yesterday. So I hate leg days, and Mondays is like when I restart my lifting plan. I switched it to Sundays. So Mondays, I actually like what I'm doing in the gym, which is like upper body and cardio. So like it's not as daunting for me on a Monday, if that makes sense. And that sounds dumb, but like I hate looming workouts. Like it will loom over me the whole day. I have to get that done. So now I'm liking Mondays for now.
Okay.
What about you?
I like that. I purposely kind of I don't sabotage my weekends, but my weekends are like not structured. Like I'm going out for dinner, like unless I have like the only time I ever work out on the weekends is a workout class with friends or long runs when I'm marathon training. Like aside from that, it's just like I'm just active the day, eating what I want, going wherever, doing random things, and like it's not structured at all. And then so by the time Monday comes, I'm someone who loves routines and loves it. I'm like, oh, thank God I'm back to my routine on Monday. And then by the time Friday comes along, I'm like, oh, I'm so sick of this routine and this structure. And like, just kind of that's my cycle through every week.
No, that is fair. Where you like, I think the key also is like find something you like to do for a Monday that like brightens it a little bit. Because there's nothing worse. Like back when I used to drink on Sundays, oh my gosh, Sunday fun day. Yeah. And like, you like not only have to work, but you also are hungover. Oh my gosh, that's like, you're doing it wrong, you know? So now it's like, I mean, I don't really drink as much anymore, period. But like, even if I stay up a little late, I feel like it's affecting me. I just saw a TikTok of a girl being like, gym girls get this. We're like, you don't even drink anymore. You just like stay up till 1 and like the whole day, the next day, you're like hungover. And that's how I feel.
Same. Yeah. I was like, I'm convinced a hangover is just sleep deprivation. Like, obviously there can be, but like the worst part is just the sleep deprivation. It's not everything else you think it is.
Yeah, because my body will wake up at 6 a.m. no matter what. So it doesn't matter what time I go to bed.
And I always think like this could be advice or it could be problematic depending who you talk to. I personally think you should get up at the exact same time because I think if we're assuming it's just weekends, that for me, it's a lot better to be exhausted that day. So I pass out early back on my routine versus the opposite. You sleep in and then you're not tired at your normal time. And then you have another crappy night of sleep. So I'm like, like this weekend, I stayed out till 2 a.m. and I'm like, well, up at 5:36. And then I was like ready. And then I was back on my routine Saturday. Yeah, I'd like, and I'm also someone who can survive off of no sleep, which to a fault. It like stresses me out sometimes. Like I'm like, oh, I don't really like sleeping. And I know I should for long-term health. But yeah, I was fine Saturday. But if I like let myself sleep in, then Saturday night I'm up till 1 a.m. and then I'm jet lagged.
Wow. That is impressive. That's like 3 hours of sleep, girl. Were
I know,
you drinking too?
Yeah. That's why I stayed up.
Oh my God. So well, I figured, but you know, that is impressive. I feel like I'd be drunk 3 hours later still.
It's like to a fault. Like you said, it sounds impressive, but I could go out every weekend, drink just as long as I stick to beer, not sleep, and like feel fine. But I know eventually over time, like things start to wear down. And so it's not like an initial, like I'm like, oh, I feel fine. It's good. And then eventually like my skin starts getting bad. I start getting more agitated. Like it's like a slow creep of like long-term detriments. So yeah, I wish I didn't have to sleep. You like sleeping or you don't. There's two types of people.
It's so true. So Michael was gone for the weekend and I was like, I'm in charge of my own bedtime. And honestly, Michael and I go to bed early in general. And that man can fall asleep at like 8 o'clock. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to stick to the routine. That way on the weekend, I can like do my morning walks with Bentley and just really like soak in all of the quietness for the weekend. And the first night I went to bed at like 10, I think, but I didn't sleep well. The first night I never sleep well because I'm just like not used to him, not being there. Yeah. And so then the next day I literally got into bed at 8 o'clock. Bentley was so happy because I just kept waking up. So it was like horrible sleep. And I think I slept in from like 8 to 7:30. Like
Wow.
It was crazy. And usually I get up no matter what at like 6.
Yeah.
But
Body
your girl went clearly crazy on just not sleeping, which I'm like,
yeah,
might as well have gone to a party or something. Jeez.
Yeah, make it count. Like that's where actually I was like, if I'm not sleeping, I'm gonna make it count.
yeah, exactly.
So back to my first slip up with lock it in. So if you didn't know, I'm gonna explain this concept of locking in for those who aren't chronically online like us. Now it kind of self-explanatory, but it's just that it's locking in. Dedication. I believe it came from gaming culture originally, but you didn't come here for a synopsis of terminology of Gen Z. Lack of better terms, it's you decide you're going full in, full dedication, locked in, you're plugged into the matrix, and you're focused on one goal. So it's in essence New Year's resolutions rebranded. You're just on your health grind for the most part. But then you could apply this to fitness, finance, school, whatever. But for the most part, kind of locked in just means like you're fully on your crap. You're working out, you're saving your money, you're doing work, you're growing your business, you're in school or whatever. And we thought it'd be fun to talk about the things we do when we decide we're going on a health kick. We're locking in and we're dedicated, whether it's 30 days, it's a new season. And yeah, you want to lead us off?
Yeah. I mean, I'm currently locked in. I'm calling it my comeback journey. And I'm on I like have a time thing that counts it. I think I'm like day 65. Let's see if I can pull it up. And I'll tell you quickly what I'm doing and then I'll get my tip. 61 days. Sorry, I jumped ahead. 61 days. Wait, actually the irony, it literally says lock in.
Lock in. See, meant to be.
You're locked in. Chronically online. How are we saying it? Yeah. But for me, what I did for this just lock in general was I tracked my macros. I'm eating higher protein. I'm doing a 5-day workout plan, like extra movement each day. And for me, it was big because I came back from Europe after being gone for 2 months and I just wasn't feeling confident in my body. And I was like, also just like didn't feel the healthiest. And since my like past mental breakdown this year, I was like, you know what? I finally feel like I'm feeling good with my mental health. And why wouldn't I now focus on my physical health? Because it took the back burner. I could not go to the gym for 2 months without having like an anxiety attack. So now I'm like, okay, time to lock in and just take care of myself again. It's always a bonus when I start seeing my abs come back and things like that. But one of the very first tips that I do or give to myself is I schedule my workouts like a meeting. And that's because I am somebody that will always, if there is an excuse that I can find, I will find it and not make it to the gym. And so this just helps me show like an amount of self-respect. And I always tell my clients this too, like, obviously maybe you're busy or going to like a corporate job or something like that and you can't physically schedule in during the work day because you can't leave work, but you can schedule it in before work, after work, and like tell your friends no to the happy hours or set your alarm so you don't sleep in or something like that. But if you make it as like a non-negotiable meeting, like I think it's a game changer. And I just, once I have it on my Google Calendar, mine's 11 to 1, I cannot like plan anything else. I refuse to move it. When my friends ask to hang out, I'm like, nope. Or if I have any like meetings, I'm like, nope, you can schedule any other time of the day. And I just think if you don't, for me, if I don't get it done, I like, it's like a reminder that I didn't respect myself.
Yeah.
And so it's like a rude awakening. So that's my first tip. What's yours?
I love that. Well, I guess I'll then also lead off of how I'm locking in. So for my lock in, and the reason behind it is obviously I ran my marathon, very locked in. Very much so. And then when I came back, I went through some medical stuff. I haven't been able to work out for about 3 weeks. And I knew that was going to happen. I'm all good. But anyways, it went from that to like a month of just nothingness when it comes to fitness, just going on hot girl walks. And so I know holidays are in the future, Christmas and all that. And I just want to lock in and be like on my routine. Like I said, I'm that kind of person who thrives in routine, being in that, and then eventually I get bored of my routine and I need to sabotage it and be off it and then go back. And that's just how I'm happiest. So I know I want to lock in before Christmas. So come Christmas season, I'll be like sick of routine. But right now I'm craving routine, which leads me to my number one tip. And like what I crave, and I find like that dopamine you can get from your routine is tracking your progress. Now, I think the best way to do it, obviously there's outcome goals, like how much weight you lost, how much weight you gained, how much stronger you are, how much faster you are. But at the end of the day, you can't control the outcome. You can only control your consistency. So for me, I love to track the progress in terms of like completion. So I love a 30-day challenge. And there's obviously, you can do apps you can track with. You can get an activity tracker if you want to spend some money. If you want a cheaper option, like you said, you can get an app that shows you how many times you completed, or a program. And then the third, like just free option, is just like write down on a piece of paper every single time you completed. And it sounds crazy, but at the end of the month, when you see those like 30 checks or 20 checks or whatever your goal is, it's so satisfying, like the dopamine reward of it. So for me, I'm using the Center app for 30 days because I'm doing a 30-day challenge with that. So I'm starting it tomorrow, and I'm just attempting to log into the app every day for 30 days. I'll probably only do 3 workouts, but follow that for 30 days. And that's the progress I'll be trying to make.
Nice. I like that. Do you like progress photos? I feel like a lot of girls ask about this. Like when it comes to any physique goals, do you ever do that?
See, I used to do it a lot because like, for YouTube specifically, like it does show like even just from a scientific aspect of like, this is how my body changed or didn't change. So I used to do it quite often, but only really for that reason. I won't lie, like none of my workouts are ever aesthetic based. Like I can't remember the last time I had an aesthetic based goal at all. So like it doesn't even cross my mind, except if there's a video like I'm testing creatine or something and I'm like, oh, let's just see what happens to my body. And I know that's kind of a unique case point, but I think progress photos are great. Like if you want an aesthetic goal or you do have a weight loss goal, I think they're even better because weight has so many factors aside from just what the scale says. So like I'm all for them, but like personally, honestly, I was like, oh yeah, I forgot progress photos are a thing.
Yeah, no, that's totally fair. I do progress videos instead of photos for those that, because photos are more annoying to take in my opinion. Or if you just prop your phone up on a stand and I just take a video once a week and I just rotate it. Yeah. So for the girlies that maybe want the videos too, if they are more physique based.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, my second one is, okay, this might be a hot take. I'm curious what you think on this, but I think with what I'm doing right now, and also like knowing me and myself and how I am an extremist. Like I have a very addictive behavior to things and stuff like that. So I always have to watch myself with things because I can easily get like hyper fixated on things. Yeah. So I, for this goal of mine, wanted to really make weekends not a complete like cheat weekend. Mm-hmm. And that's because a lot of people, and like I've had my clients included and me as well in the past, been like, it's the weekend, it's a cheat day, cheat few days, whatever. And like at the end of the day, like if you are, say right now, I want to be in a fat loss and gain muscle, so I am eating in a slight deficit. And so it doesn't really matter. People don't realize that, yes, you can hit macros like every single day, but then you need to like, what matters is the macros collectively for the week. So you can technically, what is that called? I was just watching a video, that term called for it. There's a term.
Like your total calories, just like intake for the week.
For the week. Yeah.
I guess it'd be total calories.
It's like calorie stacking or something like that. But anyways, you technically, if you do have those cheat weekends and where you're only eating, say you eat in a surplus and you're like, oh, well, it's fine because it was only 2 days. It actually does add up in the end and it doesn't put you in a deficit for that week. Yeah. So because of that, I was like, you know what? I want to try and like, I still have quote unquote cheat meals. If I want a burger and fries, I will get it. But I actively make it in my macros. And like very rare, maybe twice since doing the 60 days, have I like not tracked the macros because maybe my mom was in town or whatever. But like, you can still hit your macros and still enjoy those things, but you just have to be strategic and smart with it. So that's like a big thing is just notice, because a lot of people when they lock in are like, why is this not working? And I'm like, maybe it's because you're having cheat weekends constantly, and that does add up. Like as much as I hate to admit it, it does.
It really does. It because your metabolism, without giving a science like lecture, is like so depends on the like by the second you're burning things, you're consuming things. Like it's not so black and white, like today I gained weight, tomorrow I lost weight. Like it's not so black and white. Like good day, it's over the whole kind of, like you said, accumulation. So if you hit maintenance every single day, but then on Saturday you went will say 2,000 calories over, about not exactly, this has been debunked, but 3,500 calories equals a pound. We'll just say it for argument's sake. Like right there is 2/3 of a pound. And it didn't matter that it was just that one day, it's still going to be accumulated. Now that also accounts, like if you're in a deficit throughout the week, you eat the extra 2,000, spread that out over 5 days. That's 400 calories over those 5 days. Like it's just one of those things. If you do have a goal like that, like I think it really depends on the person though. Like I feel like some people need that weekend release and they need the break mentally. And like, you just have to make sure like break within moderation. Like, and I think that's where it came from, is like people think cheat day and they're like, oh, that means I can have whatever. Let's go crazy. And then they're like, and some people have the capacity of like, you know, those people who like, and it's impressive, could eat 5,000 calories just like that. And they're like, and so they can do so much damage. Well, other people, they're like, oh no, I just want like an extra night out. They go a little over their calories. That doesn't really matter. Like it's going to even out. You're going to probably be more active the next day because you have more energy. Like a little bit doesn't make it. So like, I think that's exactly what you're doing. Like you said, don't go extreme, but then like I'll use me as an example of like personality types. And I think that's what's realizing. Like you see a lot of people online being like anti-cheat meal, like no cheat meals, no da-da-da. But like for me, I like being a bit more structured during the week. Like I don't have to think about it. It's kind of repetitive what I do. And then on the weekends, I just like I said, I like to go have fun. Like, oh, sure, let's just go eat here. I'm not thinking about it. And then by the Monday, I'm one like, oh, I want a bit more consistency again. And so like for me, I've never considered a cheat meal because I'm not like cheating, and nor am I on like a structured diet. But I actually like my weekends to be a bit more like, let's just go with the flow. Whatever happens, happens. And then come the week, I like a bit more structure. And I actually have always used the Swedish term. Oh, it's called like Largo Ska. I can't pronounce it. It sums up Saturday candy. So all the kids in Sweden, there's a dental campaign. They don't eat candy during the week. And then they all go to the candy store and eat a ton of candy on Saturday. And like, I kind of like that, not for the fact that I can't have candy on Monday, I have free will, but I have that to look forward to all week. Like I do like that. Like it's like something exciting, like just like waiting for eggnog at Christmas, pumpkin pie at Halloween. So like I do like having like something special to wait for on the weekend, and that's just me.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. And that's where I think it really does show personality and goal-based,
Yes.
right? And yeah, there's just some people that can be a bit more relaxed. And then there's, you know, some more neurotic people like me that I'm like, oh, cheat day? Don't worry. I will consume the 5,000 calories then. So.
And I love that. And there's an example, like I hate the fitness world is like, it's one or the other. Like it's just people have different personalities. Like let's take that into account. And so do whatever works better for you.
But wait, quick question. Are you saving your candy for the weekend, ma'am?
No. But I always get a special candy.
Okay. I was like, girlfriend, I know you love your candy. You were like I'll give grandma with the caramels.
I will say, like, I always have like a couple of candies throughout the week. Like, I'm constantly. But I will say every Saturday I get a special. Like I go to Purdy's.
Ooh,
like chocolate. It's like premium chocolate, like the hedgehogs. Those in Canada know. And I like Saturday, but I'm like, I don't, because they're also hella expensive. And so it's like, I don't want to take away the magic of having this nice little treat. So yeah, every Friday I usually go and like pick up a nice little like candy. And so Saturday I'll have like my fancy candy. But then like I did have a chocolate like an hour ago. So it's not like I don't have candy during the week.
Totally. I feel you. Right before this, I had my True Foo. So that's my current hyperfixation.
Oh, those are good.
So good. Let them melt a little bit. Like prime.
See, I don't like when they melt. I just like them right away.
What? You like them when they're like,
what? And then you kind of like suck on it.
See, it's so cold. It hurts my mouth.
Yeah.
I want it like gushing in my mouth.
Yeah. I'm the opposite. See, two different types.
That is fascinating. Yes, absolutely.
I don't like chewing it though. I kind of suck on it so it melts. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I get it.
Yeah. Two options. So speaking of two, my second one is from James Clear, but habit swap. So a habit is really a cue and a response. You see something, it has you do something, whatever it is. And that could be healthy or bad. But once that loop's made, it's kind of always permanently there. So I always try and think, if I'm trying to establish a good habit, like what's a habit I don't really like, or like that I can make better. I'll use the most basic example, would just be like swapping out an energy drink for like carbonated water. Something like that's like a prime example. Like still the same sensation. You're still having it at 1 p.m., but you're just doing something not as expensive or harmful or whatever you're trying to establish. Or on the flip side, you can also just like habit stack. So the other example is like you have morning coffee every day, always have a glass of water beside it. So while your coffee's being made, you're drinking water. And so just something like that is like, I always just try and think of like the path of least resistance. What's habits I already have and how can I just like pair on better ones for my goals?
Okay. I like that. I like that idea. Mm-hmm. I've been doing, I'm trying to build the habit of like writing 5 things I'm grateful for every day.
Oh, love that. Love that.
But it is painfully hard to remember to do it, you know? So,
easier said that I forever am trying to have a journal practice and I have alarms set and I try, but then like I'm on my couch at 9 p.m. I've been writing all day and the last thing I want to do is write more. So sometimes you give yourself grace, being like, just be thankful in general. Just think about it.
Totally. Totally fair. Okay. Last one for me. This one's kind of interesting. I was thinking about it and I heard it on a podcast today. And when you're locking in, this obviously requires discipline. And that's like the biggest highlight because so many people, when they lock into any type of challenge, they are motivated at first. And then the second it gets a bit more inconvenient, maybe a little annoying, they tend to quit because they don't necessarily have that willpower to continue. And I believe like willpower is something that you can build and discipline is something you can act on and build and like choose to do the harder thing for yourself. And so, and like everyone goes through phases where your discipline sucks and then your discipline's really good, right? Like my point being, nobody's born with it. That person that you meet and you're like, well, they're just lucky. They have good discipline. No, they work really hard for that discipline actually. And like you only just see the outcome. And so I was listening to this podcast and it had this, I don't know what, he was a doctor, but like it was on Caitlin Bristow's podcast and it was about like rewiring your brain for like happiness and positivity. And he got into like talking about willpower and how discipline and willpower is actually correlated to how efficient you sleep. So people that sleep more efficiently have a better go at having willpower or discipline and having like a better morning routine. It's like actually correlated to it. So he was saying, no, that person's not genetically blessed to have really good discipline. I think of like my husband has the most, like he's the most disciplined person I've ever met, right? Like a serial entrepreneur constantly doing this. And in my head, I was always like, oh, he was just born this way. No, this man, like I said, can sleep at 8. He actually does have a fantastic sleep routine. And I'm like, I understand why. He gets up at like 4 a.m. Like I don't even get up at 4 a.m. And so he just said there's a correlation to how you sleep and your morning routine. So if there's anything to take away, like take that away and maybe focus on how am I sleeping? Am I prioritizing sleep and recovery? And also what the hell does my morning routine look like? Because I know when I roll out of bed that day and I'm running late, I'm not going to be as disciplined to like show up to the gym or eat healthy. So like it does make sense when you do think about it and sit down. Like my best days are the ones that I walk like 5 a.m. with Bentley, have a slow morning, read a book, enjoy my coffee. And yeah, so if anyone struggles with discipline, there's hope and maybe it's your sleep.
I love it. Well, the science of how our bodies work make complete sense because when you have bad sleep, your gremlin. I'm saying gremlin. I was like, it will turn you into a gremlin. Is because your hunger hormones spike. And so it's going to be way less likely you make right choices. Also less energy, so you're going to have less workout. So like makes so much sense. Also, if you're ever, I think I've recommended on the podcast, but Grit by Angela Duckworthy, I believe is her name. It's just a whole book about grit, aka willpower. Ooh. And at the end of the day, the summary is, it's a great book. It's one of my all-time favorites, like self-help, because it's the science behind like willpower. And it, at the end of the day, it's like a muscle and it's something you build. And it's kind of like, I always tell myself, anytime things are hard or I'm doing something, even if it doesn't seem that beneficial, like say your friend says, oh, let's do a 10K together. And you're like, I don't give a crap about running 10 kilometers, but you do it with your friend. Every day you show up and do that, that willpower will make the next things you do easier because you've built up that ability. And so like, I always tell myself, like anytime I'm doing something crappy, I'm like, oh, the next thing hard I have to do will be easier because I'm doing this now. And that's like what the science says. So it's a great book.
I love that. Yeah. Okay. I wrote it down.
Here, my habit is almost like the opposite side of it. So you talked about how you start saying you're really motivated and you kind of fall off. Now, this is for those girlies who are, or even like me right now, you go off from like not working out for a bit and you know you need to, but you have zero energy. You're like, oh, I can't even get started, let alone like lose motivation. I like to do something I call just going through the motions. So when I have to get back my routine. It's dark, it's cold. I say, I'm going to the gym and putting in zero effort. So like I'll go through my entire workout routine, but I mean like I pick up 1 pound. I'm barely lifting. Like I'm barely squatting. I'm just like practicing. Like I'm not even doing anything. Like it takes zero effort. Like it'd be just as easy to sit. And I tell myself you're allowed to just do that. And it's so funny that like eventually you just do it. And like, but something about like taking away that pressure that like, oh, I got to go to the gym and like bust my butt right now. Like that seems so daunting. But if you're like, oh no, you just have to like pretend to do a bicep curl at the gym, pretend to do your lat pull down. Just like, oh, I can do that. That's easy. And that's how I trick myself to going to the gym. And once you get warmed up, you end up doing the full workout. But I tell myself, you aren't going to work out. You're just going to go through the motions.
I love that. That's a great idea. And that's like, sometimes like I'll have a client where she's like, oh, I'm on my period this week. I'm just going to skip the gym. I'm like, never skip the gym. Like, even if we're on our period, never skip the gym. You can just do a more you can do a low impact workout. You actually will feel better. Like just go for the walk. Or like, have you ever heard of that saying of like, go for 10 minutes. And then if you hate it after 10 minutes, you can go home. But then after 10, you're like, oh, okay, I'm feeling good. Like there's science behind why we feel better when we exercise. So you will feel better no matter what. Even if you're a grumpy McGrumpster, you will still have a little bit of that, like the endorphin hit to keep you there. So that's a great idea to just go through the motion. And I would say it's like that is a form of discipline, right? Of just like doing the shit you don't want to do. Even if it's like a short time or you feel like you're faking it, at least you're there and you're doing it. You're paying yourself more respect than you did if you weren't, right?
I love it. I love it.
I think at the end of the day, locking in or like having a challenge or dedicating yourself, like, and for me, because I get so triggered in the past when I used to quit everything, I just could never finish it. I hated that and I didn't like who I was. And so like for me, locking in is like a form of self-respect. That's what it screams to me is like when I meet somebody and they are like, oh yeah, I've been doing this challenge. I'm running a marathon. Like that is like, that person respects themselves. And that is like, I look up to those people and that's who I want to be associated with. That's who I want to spend my time with. It's like a green flag for a friend for me is like somebody that has that grit of their own. And it doesn't have to be a crazy hobby, but could just be something that they care about for themselves that proves it, Yeah.
Confidence is keeping the promises you make to yourself. And that's like, if you want to build confidence, do something for 30 days and just actually show up and do it. And then suddenly you'll be like, oh, I trust myself. When I say I'm going to do something. And that's really all confidence is. And so I have one question for you. So you got 61 days in your challenge. So you're locking in for 61 more days. What can we expect from Sav in 61 days? What do you hope where you'll be then?
Okay. Well, so it's been 61 days of me locking in.
I thought you had 61 days. Oh, how much longer are you going to lock in?
I know. Well, with my macros, I'm really enjoying tracking my macros because nutrition is my Achilles heel and I need to educate myself on it. So for me, I'll probably change my macros and reverse diet after 90 because I don't want to go off of like a mini cut and be like, and not do it properly. Like, come on, I'm a trainer. Like, I know how to do this. So that's where I'm like, okay, after 90 days, that's usually when you switch up. You shouldn't really be in a deficit for longer than that because it can alter your metabolism. So I don't know. I'm like looking to hit the 90-day mark. And then I've been doing all the progress photos to see how my body's changing because I did have physique goals. And then I'll kind of go from there. But I enjoy it right now. And I don't even know in the next 30 days, what would that be, like end of November? Yeah. So I just feel like I might just keep it going in the sense of keeping habits, not tracking macros forever. But yeah, what about you with your challenges?
I just hope I'll just done the marathon. So I'm going to do a bit more of like a hybrid training, trust that out for about 30 days. So like get back into running, but like I don't want to get too much into running because I'm going to train for a BMO marathon in February. And I'm like kind of like, go for a run sounds good, but I'm not craving a run, which I don't want to start a new run program with that mindset. Like I want to just keep up my running a bit and then like focus on like weight training, a bit more balanced approach. So I'm going to do like, a bit more hybrid, get back on my mobility because I even talked about it in video. I only had so many hours in a day and I had to be like, I don't have time to spend 30 minutes to stretch right now. I wish I did, but I don't. And it's either my run, weights, or stretching. And I got rid of stretching. So just be a bit more consistent, feel a little less tight in the lower back come holidays, and just like feel good, like feel strong, feel flexible, have my cardio be in a good place, and just be like really healthy to start marathon training again. And I think that's the goal. Just feel good and be like, oh, I got energy. I'm feeling flexible and I'm ready to take on another training block is the goal.
Nice. I love that. I remember when you ran every single day for like so long. What was your streak?
Days. 400 days. I think I'm on 180 right now.
Are you still doing it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Wow. But you like, do you have like a minimum?
I quit that one. So it was a mile. It was a mile minimum.
Okay. But I
quit the original. So I did it until the doctor. And so I do a fake run every day. So I go for a long walk, and every kilometer I do a little shuffle thing for about 100 meters and then keep going because I can't bounce. So, you know what? Some people say I broke it, but I'm like, you know what? I've been out there every day and I'm doing my 100-meter shuffle several times. So come for me, mile streak police. I'm like,
so fair.
I'll do it my way. I was like, I have a doctor's note. So if I didn't have a doctor's note, fair. But I'm like, I have a doctor's note. So I did my little shuffle.
There you go. You're proving to yourself, I've got a doctor's note.
I know. And as soon as the doctor says you're cleared, and then if I'm not running a mile, then the streak's gone. But
yeah. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, yeah, that's impressive.
I'm still out there every morning in my running shoes and running outfit. It's just slow. It's very slow.
You're going through the motion.
Exactly. I'm going through the motion of a run.
Love it. I went for a run. Well, I walked Bentley this morning and I was like, I need to get his cardio up. Man is 10. Yeah. So I made him run 3 different songs. Love it. He loved it. I was like, yay, you didn't die. Because he's just like, it's so hot here. And so trying to get his cardio back up. Yeah. So
get that heart healthy.
He feels you.
Get that heart healthy.
Get that heart healthy. All right, you guys. Well, that concludes this week's episode. And oh my gosh, we didn't have any issues. Praise.
Bless you. Oh yeah, last one. Just the mysterious, just cut out on us.
Literally at the end, we're like, okay, goodbye. Like you were like, we got to go. And I'm so happy that we used this platform called Riverside and it did what it's supposed to be doing. Hopefully this is recorded. We're a little rusty, as you can tell. Yeah. But all right, you guys, don't forget to, I guess, subscribe, leave us a comment if you want, and we'll see you next time, okay? Bye.
Bye.
Nailed it. 2 minutes to spare for you to skedaddle.
Love. I thought for sure, like with the Amazon strike, I'm like, or, you know, the outage, the big Amazon. Oh, yeah. Amazon web servers went down this morning. So, like, half this, like, Minecraft's down, Twitch is down, Amazon's down, like, all these massive companies, like, all the web run, because they own the cloud serving, that like, all internet. So I'm like, oh, my God, Riverside is 100% owned by Amazon. So I'm like, I'm glad it worked. But I don't know if you see it, but, like, on the top, it's like an issue with AWS is currently affecting the ability to live stream and host webinars. Our team is closely monitoring the situation. And so I think it's just like we couldn't do a webinar right now because their webinar service is on Amazon. So I was like, but luckily ours isn't. So
now it looks like it's up. It's uploading as we speak. Mm-hmm. This is where I just like Michael tells me any current events. And I'm like, don't worry, babe. I will know, though, that Selena Gomez got mad at Hailey Bieber this weekend. Like, we need to know both, so don't worry. Don't worry.